might want to check the frame, the Oregon Sports Meet logo. Looks like it's cut off a little bit. Yeah, and then down on the bottom, the team logos look like they're cut off a little bit too. There is a command that you can use to set it back to full screen. Leave it done with the view. Go ahead and drop the graphic and bring the audio up. Let us know. That'll give Chris the cue whenever he's ready to go. Got it?
Opening draw here at Delta Park. It's Central Catholic and Grant. Girls lacrosse action. These two teams going toe-to-toe, hungry for what would be an impressive win on their respective resumes. Happy to have you along with us. I'm Chris Clayton with you on the Oregon Sports Beat. Grant able to win the opening draw. They control it. Grant coming into this game is one of the best teams in the state this year. A 6-3 record in an incredibly difficult schedule. They are number 4 in the Oregon Girls Lacrosse Association rankings so far this year. It is Central Catholic coming into this game with a strong 7-4 record. The Rams hungry to get back on track, losing 3 of their last 4 games against some top-notch opponents. The latest, a loss to IDB Wells. Here's a downhill attack and a shot. That is a score, and what a start for Grant. It's Anna Sherlock coming in for the goal. That's her 18th of the year. That's second on the team this season for Grant. Just like that, 44 seconds in. Grant is on the board. Becca Josephson is the goalie once again for Central Catholic, getting the start in every game this season, coming with a save percentage at 44%, which is a very strong average for a goalie. Central Catholic trying to get on track here, and they are able to control the draw as teetering the sideline as Nina Bruce able to make the play. And there's a whistle and a foul against Grant, keeping possession with Central Catholic. The Rams, led by head coach Sharon Zemp, looking for a marquee, huge victory for this program. And a terrific season so far for this much improved CC team. Mackey had possession, and now it's with Nora Zemp. Zemp strolling behind the cage, still in possession. Circling around to the other side, exhibiting some patience here, this Central Catholic team. Leading goal scorer Marin Lafia tosses it back off to Carson Walker. Now down the middle, looking for an attack. That's Olivia Meraki. And again, CC calmly, slowly waiting for an opening to open up. Morgan Brunner. Down to Meraki again. Now it's in the X. Bruce trying to make a move. Defended well by Ava Ciano. The defense of Grant sliding, communicating, playing as a unit, defending CC. Just outside the 8. Mackey, she's dangerous here. Her shot knocked away. Well defended. Didn't even reach the goalie. It's Annika Bilik, the starting goalie for this Grant team. She's had a terrific season in her own right. 38 save percentage this year. Quickly on the attack, Grant in transition, able to score. That's Vivian Collins. And the Generals with a quick stop defensively. They race down, and they're up 2-0 3 minutes into it. Great execution from Grant. He went through a long Central Catholic possession, came away with it, and they're getting clean shots just outside the crease. It's a Grant team led by head coach Helen McDevitt. They last played on Friday, a matchup with Hood River Valley. And off the draw, there's a whistle. And possession's given to Central Catholic. So over 3 minutes in, it's 2-0 Grant. Central Catholic trying to get on track here. Off to the right side, Zemp. Harassing defense, and Grant able to come away with it with Ciano. Ciano making a few strong defensive plays already in this game. Leads the team with 17, actually second on the team. 17 ground balls coming in. She's caused the most turnovers on the team this season as well, so no surprise to see her playing lockdown defense again today. Here's Erin McDevitt going right down the middle, putting on a juke move, trying to go back to the left, draws a foul. And this will be a golden opportunity from a free position. For McDevitt, 41 goals this year. That's a team best. And here she goes. Off to the right, lofts it over the top and finds the net for Grant's third goal. So it's McDevitt, Sherlock, and Collins who have scored the goals so far for Grant. And Sharon Zemp will elect to take a timeout here, wanting to talk things over. More than 4 minutes into this game. It's a 3-0 lead for Grant over Central Catholic. Again, this is a Grant team that has been so good this year. Coming in with a 6-3 official record on the season so far. It's one of those games where you want to get off to a better start, obviously, if you're CC, but this is a great test to see exactly where they're at as a team. It's a young Central Catholic roster trying to battle the best the state has to offer. And for Central Catholic, their last game on Thursday, a 17-7 loss to Ida B. Wells. And Wells is a top 10 team in the state in their own right. Losing 3 of their last 4. Their lone win in between there was from a team against Washington, or against the team from Washington, I should say, in Camas. They got a 13-12 win there. But before that, they were playing some really good lacrosse with 4 consecutive victories. So that's kind of the point that Central Catholic is at, is trying to not only get the wins they're supposed to win on paper, but now compete with the best the state has to offer. And that's kind of the hump they're trying to get over. And Grant is as good as anybody. And it's a tough start so far, down 3-0. Grant, to give you an idea of how good they've been this year, just a 1-goal loss earlier this season at Jesuit, 12-11. Jesuit, of course, one of the powerhouses in Oregon. 7:47 to go in this first quarter, and Meraki able to win the draw for Central Catholic. Meraki being trailed by a couple defenders sprinting down the far side. Flipped it off towards a teammate. Loose on the turf, though. And it did roll over the line. So that's a Central Catholic turnover. Looked like Meraki was about to fall out of bounds. He tried to flip it off to Morgan Brunner, who couldn't track it down. And unfortunately, when Grant has been in possession, they have taken full control, taking advantage of every possession so far. 3 possessions and 3 goals, and here's possession number 4. McDevitt down the middle, rips a shot and scores. A whistle before the shot, though. What a finish by McDevitt. But the ball's tossed back to her. She'll have a free position shot opportunity. For the second time, here's a free position shot for McDevitt, ducking through, underhand, not able to finish. Grant still in possession, though. Still a chance to maintain this perfect start to the game, scoring on every possession. Running down the middle, that's Strike, cutting off to the right, and draws a foul. Marina Strike, 11 goals, 5 assists on the season. Got a really good chance at number 12 here from a free position. Josephson is the goalie for Central Catholic. Here's the shot. Strike finds the net. That's a 4-0 start for Grant. It's about halfway through this first quarter, and it's all Generals. Grant spreading it around. 4 goals from 4 different players. They've got 5 players with at least 10 goals this year, 7 with at least 7, but it is Aaron McDevitt who's way out in front, scored a bulk of their goals, 41 of them this season. Kind of the bright spot so far, Central Catholic doing a nice job winning these draws, but not that time. That time Strike able to come away with it, and McDevitt won that draw. Now a left-hand shot. It's another goal. That's the second goal for Vivian Collins. The official stats coming in showing her at 3 goals on the season, 2 in this game alone already, first quarter. Big time start for Grant. Central Catholic trying to See if they can't challenge a bit more offensively. You saw their possession earlier. They had a kind of a long possession that lasted more than a minute. Weren't able to get a clean shot off. Did get into the 8. Outside of that, it's really been all Grant. Nice pass and a nice finish. McDevitt able to loft it in to McKinley Bylick, who finishes. Beautiful assists for Erin McDevitt. Mentioned her leading the team in goals this year. She also leads Grant in assists, and she shows it off on that play. 6-0 lead for Grant, 5:36 to go in this first quarter. Draw McDevitt against Lutfia for Central Catholic. And Grant able to win it again. Getting downhill, losing control. It's loose to the turf, flipped in the air, batted around, and Grant has control again with Anna Sherlock. McDevitt rotates it around. Strike over on the far side to Collins. Now it's down in the X with Hoffel. Egier drawing a whistle. That's Olive Egier who takes the contact. She'll have a free position shot. 7th possession for Grant. The shot and the 7th goal. And the 6th player to find the back of the net for Grant. Olive Egier with her 8th goal of the season. This is one of those games that's a lot of fun if you're a Grant fan, or Grant player, of course. They're coming in season high, 19 goals. Done that twice against St. Mary's and Lincoln this season. Certainly on pace to surpass that if they can keep this up. 4:36 to go in this first quarter, and Grant controls the draw again. Racing the other way, this is Strike. McDevitt trying to cut in. Closed off. Just outside the 12, she surveys, flips it in, fake shot, spinning left, defenders converge, and Sherlock will toss it back out. And here goes Strike. Back to Sherlock. Sherlock running to the X, the pass back to the middle, and it's turned over. Nabbed out of the air by Lutfia. Less than 4 to go. Nearly turned over, but it's controlled. There's a whistle and a foul against Grant. Meraki spinning down the sideline, had it knocked out of bounds. And it went off her stick. It is Grant possession. So the streak of perfect possession to goal ratio is broken. Not able to get a shot off in that last possession for Grant. 7 goals in their first 8 possessions of this game. Nearly perfect so far. Sherlock defended well. Knocked away. And Central Catholic able to cause the turnover there with Paige Pierce. A really nice play on it. Pierce trying to track it down. Possession still with Grant. Spoon move, Strike, rips the shot and scores. And Strike now with her 2nd goal. It's an 8-0 first quarter so far for Grant. 2:32 to go in this first. Grant coming out locked in. Just 3 regular season games remaining after this for a Grant team looking to contend for a championship this year. And they are looking sharp now. Left side and another goal for Bialik, and it came off another McDevitt assist. Bialik with her second goal. That's 3 different Grant players with 2 goals now, and a 9-0 start for the Generals. Just 2:17 to go in this first quarter. Grant passing so well, able to find open teammates within the 8. You just have so many threats, not just on the catch, but also with the ball in their hands. They're able to find lanes just when it feels like Central Catholic has got all the lanes closed up. Someone's able to cut through off a spin move or a dodge, and suddenly they find themselves free, or they attract a bunch of attention and they've got a cutter that flashes through the middle. This is a Grant team that is certainly looking very complete in this game, and they control another draw. Strike getting downhill, lofting right side, and a lot of space to operate. Another goal. That's Isla Hoffel, and a 10-0 advantage for Grant. Hoffel joins the scoring party. That's 7 different Grant players now with goals in this game. Sharing the ball as well. Draw control for Grant, trying to take advantage. Knocked away from Hoffel. Loose in the 8. Central Catholic looking to come away with it. But a whistle drawn and a foul. That's against the Rams. A lot of red jerseys around that ball. Looked like they were going to come up away with it on the turf. But instead, Grant does have it. Trying to add to their spectacular first quarter. And Grant is patient too, especially when you get to this point in the game when everything is flowing. You can kind of feel like you can do no wrong, and maybe you'll become undisciplined, make an ill-advised decision with the ball. But look at the way they're executing. Another shot down the middle. Aguier scores again. That's her second. Not trying to do it themselves, just taking what the defense is giving them and taking full advantage with an 11-goal first quarter. Closing seconds ticking off the clock in the first. And there will be no draw here today in the first quarter. Clock runs out with the running clock now that we reached the 10-goal differential. Grant with a dominant edge. 11-0 start in this game. This is a great opportunity for Central Catholic to take this as a learning experience. A couple minutes here between quarters to talk things over. Head coach Sharon Zemp and assistant Joey Josephson, the Central Catholic team that is kind of in a tough spot here. Certainly not their best quarter of play so far. And then you mix that with you're playing a team as good as Grant and how well they're executing. It's kind of a perfect storm here in a rough start to this game for the Rams. And now you start to think about what we talked about earlier. Central Catholic as a program trying to crack into the state's elite in the lacrosse field. this is the type of experience that can be very useful for the young players to see what it's like for those teams at a very high level. And to take a gut punch here and come back and play better, maybe you can really give this team a confidence boost moving forward. For Grant, you got to give them credit. They did not let up. They did not get lazy. They didn't get lethargic. They just stayed aggressive, stuck to the game plan, and you know, it felt like a really tough start for Central Catholic, but they were doing a pretty good job. They actually won 3 of the first 4 draws, controlling those. But when Grant was getting possession, they were racing down and scoring pretty quickly. And then once Grant started winning essentially every draw from there on out, that's when things really fell apart. And really, in a kind of an avalanche form, went Grant's way, and they're able to rack up an incredible 11 goals in the first quarter. So Grant team, again, two games this year, they scored 19 goals. That's their season high. That's a really impressive mark, and they have 11 through 1 quarter of play. So a chance to set a new standard for their team here this season, and a chance for Central Catholic to show their grit and their pride and come back and play better lacrosse. We certainly know they're capable of. Happy to have you along with us from Delta Park. Chris Clayton here with you on the Oregon Sports Beat. It's going to be a little bit of a chilly night. Had some wind. Sun is out right now. Well, it's behind a cloud at this very second, but there's not a lot of clouds in sight. So once the cloud kind of rolls by, we should see the sun come back out. It's been raining off and on all day here in Portland. Right now sitting at 53 degrees with some wind gusts, and we should feel that temperature drop once the sun goes down. Of course, there's that time of year where the days are really long. The 6:30 start time for this game probably only be dark, per se, for the back half of it. Starting off the second quarter, 11-0 lead for Grant over Central Catholic, and they go to the center of the field for another draw. This is where Grant has been deadly, winning these draws and wasting no time running down and creating fast breaks. Where done by Marin Lutfia, she's able to win the draw for Central Catholic. She's got possession on the left side. Lobs it into Brunner. She's in the X. Now drifts to the right, to the left side. Goes back to Lutfia. The best possession for Central Catholic earlier was nearly 90 seconds long. The problem is they didn't get a clean shot off, had it knocked away. And if you're CC here, if you do turn it over, you've got to think about getting back defensively, because Grant will waste no time. Nice move. Not able to finish, though. There is a whistle and a foul. That was Nina Bruce, who was able to spin through and draw the contact. And now she'll have a free position shot, trying to get Central Catholic on the board here in the second quarter, just over a minute in. And here's Bruce, her shot a little bit wide to the left. Bruce coming in with 8 goals on the season. A good opportunity there. But the possession continues, and it's been a good one for Central Catholic so far. They're most threatening of the game. Nora Zemp tosses off to Brunner. Brunner has it. Lutfia jogging across. Looking for a lane. Takes some contact there, lost the ball, and there is the foul. She got hit in the head there. And she's just outside the 12. That's Mackey with possession behind the cage. Molly Mackey leading the team, or second on the team this year in assists and in goals as well. Mackey through the middle, lost the handle, trying to scoop it up quickly, rolling along the turf, and she had it for a moment. Still fighting for it, but a whistle, and that's against Central Catholic. Possession now goes to Grant. As the sun emerges from behind the clouds, we're down to 9:17 to go in the second quarter. You might feel like the clock is moving really fast, but it is a running clock right now. Reached a 10-goal differential in the first quarter. Downhill, here's a nice opportunity for Mackey, but she can't finish. Well done by Annika Bialik, the goalkeeper for Grant. Grant now has possession as well with Lucy Ray lobbing it forward, straddling the sideline, and she did step on the line, that being Audrey DeLate. So there's an uncharacteristic Grant mistake. That's a turnover. Let's see if Central Catholic can take advantage. There's a whistle and a foul. That's drawn by Nina Bruce. Bruce spinning, meeting a lot of Grant defenders, still sticking with it, takes a shot, trying to skip it in, but it's off to the right. Central Catholic still in possession though. Marilyn Lafio is there for the backup. Spins left, lobs it back outside for Mackey. Mackey gets a pick. Grant able to slide defensively. It's Daphne Scotto DiCarlo. Ludfia cutting left. Uh-oh, the pass sailed, and possession goes back to Grant. Well, that's where those patient possessions can be somewhat of a backfire. Not that one in particular. They had a lot of shot opportunities in putting them on, but if you take that long of a possession, don't really get anything out of it, it can be deflating, but they get it right back. They cause a turnover, and it goes to Nora Zimp, and she draws a whistle. It's a great opportunity for Zimp. Trying to get Central Catholic on the board. 6:40 to go in this first half. Scotto DiCarlo has it. A lot of Central Catholic's possessions too, with it's outside the 12 and even sometimes pretty far outside the 12. And really, for Grant defensively, they don't have any problems with that. Some teams you'll see them defend to kind of a very aggressive style, but Grant today in these positions is kind of holding back a little bit, staying disciplined, and making Central Catholic try and attack. And when they do approach that 8-yard or 8-meter arc, the defense is there. Losing the handle along the turf. Grant has it, and they draw a whistle. And the Generals defense holds strong once again over the halfway point. Get up to McDevitt, and here's where they've been dangerous with her in possession, creating things. She's got 3 assists in this game to go along with a goal as well. Rotating the ball around, a lot of different players getting touches. McDevitt goes back to Bialik. Zegier with it. Look at the speed. Sprinting into the middle, and her shot finds the net. There's a hat trick for all of Zegier. Burst of acceleration and the foot speed. Once she found a lane, she's able to sprint free. Not just had her hands free, but weren't a lot of defenders or obstructions around her. And not a lot you can do as a goalie, too. That's a really tough position for Becca Josephson. And Grant with so many different weapons. They can spread you out. If you're out of your lane defensively or maybe don't have the quickness to slide in there and be in position, then you can see a situation like that where Zegier is sprinting free down the middle. She saw the opening, put her head down, and scores another. And a 12-0 lead for Grant over Central Catholic.
Yeah, it depends on what side, yeah. Any luck with that black bar on that side? Any luck with the black bar?
Off the draw, Grant controls. Strike able to win it. Hannah McDevitt lofted across to Hoffel. DeLate trying to spin. Paige Pierce defensively. Getting the ball loose. Pierce made a couple nice plays defensively, dislodging the ball from Grant players. That time the General was able to keep possession of it. Strike goes right side over to Sherlock. Out of Hoffel. Whistle and a foul on the attack from Steve Otter. That's Kate Steve Otter, who's going to have an opportunity, a decent spot here. Not the most ideal angle, but a free position shot opportunity here for Steve Otter. Goal and 2 assists on the season with less than 2 to go in the first half. Looking to double up her goal count here if she can get a clean shot on. Here goes Steve Otter. Defenders around her, patient all the way to the right, knocked away by Josephson. Grant, though, able to maintain possession on that ball that was loose to the right of the cage. Steve Otter lofting across for DeLate. McDevitt again has it. Flipping it over to Strike. Pass off target, and it goes out of bounds. There's the Grant turnover, possession to Central Catholic with less than a minute to go in the first half. Well, 11 goals in the first quarter for Grant. CC's had a few scoring opportunities here in the second, in particular from free positions. They weren't able to convert. Now they're trying to make something happen here on a fast break from Nora Zemp. The pass for Brunner gets away from her. She's able to track it down, though, and keep it in play. Possession remains with CC, but they only have 26 seconds to operate. Brunner trying to sneak in. Physical attack, but lost the handle. She had it taken away by Lucia Capranos. Nice play by Capranos to keep Central Catholic scoreless, and there's only 4 seconds, so best McDevitt could do is maybe launch this towards the net. She will not, and it's halftime here at Delta Park. Grant able to reach a running clock and get off to a dominant start with 11 first quarter goals. They only put up 1 in the second, but they're in a great position to get an impressive victory over a good Central Catholic team. 12-0 our score at the half. And Grant is spreading out the production here today. We've got Olive Ege with a hat trick. 2 goals from Vivian Collins, Marina Strike, and McKinley Bylick. A goal from Isla Hoffelt, Anna Sherlog, and Erin McDevitt. That's the goal distribution for Grant at the half. Central Catholic a lot better in that second quarter, created some scoring opportunities for themselves. Got a couple free position shots, but haven't found the net quite yet. They'll have plenty of game to continue to improve and maybe build some confidence against a great Grant team if they can make something happen here in the second half. Halftime at Delta Park will be back in a few minutes on the Oregon Sports Beat.
Hey, Grant supporters, anybody need blue donation bags?
Opening draw of the third quarter, 12-0 our score through one half of play. Grant scoring 11 goals in the first quarter, picking up one more in the second. The Generals spreading out the scoring. They've got 4 players with at least 2 goals and a hat trick from Oliveira so far leading the way. Central Catholic executing a lot better in the second quarter, getting a couple free position shots, but not able to convert them so far. But a strong game from Annika Bialik, the Grant goalie, and this Generals defense as a whole. Grant coming into this game with a 6-3 record on the year, ranked in number 4 in the state Oregon Girls Lacrosse Association rankings. Central Catholic coming in as the 14th ranked team out of the 37 as part of the rankings. Impressive showing so far from Grant. Hoffold finds a lane. Hoffold flips it over the top for another goal. Isla Hoffold with her second, and it's a 13-0 Grant lead. And the running clock continues, and Grant was able to reach that 10-goal advantage in the first quarter. And a sub in for Central Catholic as Tilly Dieter will go to the sideline. Emma Wilson will come in for her. Paige Pierce also back there defensively for Central Catholic in this one. Theo Bradford. And you've got Marin Lutfia, Molly Mackey, Carson Walker, Olivia Meraki. Here's a chance for Mackey, and she scores! Central Catholic on the board. Molly Mackey getting downhill and finding the net for her 20th goal of the season. That's second on the team. And a sigh of relief for Sharon Zimp and CC as they're able to get that elusive goal. Did a great job coming off the draw, controlling it, wasting no time. Catching Grant sleeping a little bit there. And a jostle for it, it's loose on the turf. And picked up finally by Grant's Oliveira. And then it rolls on over to Anna Sherlock. Now down the middle, here's a right-handed shot that finds the net. That's Kate Steveotter. She's got her 14th goal of the season. Or excuse me, that's the 14th goal of the game for Grant. That's her second goal of the season, I should say. Feels like a season goal total the way Grant's putting up these numbers today. Again, their season high 19 goals over the course of a couple games this year. A chance to surpass that today. They only had 1 goal in the second. They've already doubled that here in the third. This is one of those games where if you're head coach Helen McDevitt for Grant, you're trying to make sure your team doesn't develop bad habits. Try and make sure you still execute, and there's still a lot you can take from this game and still get better. I'm sure that was her message at halftime, is still to take this game seriously and use it as an opportunity to grow, despite the score. Certainly one-sided in their favor right now. Hoffold tosses over to Collins. Vivian Collins, a big-time start, had 2 goals in the first few minutes. Looking for a hat trick. She spins right, had it knocked away. Nice play. That's Molly Mackey. She's got the lone goal today for Central Catholic. Sprinting the other way. Mackey able to get it over the restraining line. Just outside the 12. Mackey lofts it left side. Nice pass to the cutting Brunner. Her shot knocked away by Bialik. Out of 6:50 to go, a 14-1 Grant lead. Central Catholic with one of their better opportunities of the game right there off the transition take. Latvia, team's leading goal scorer this year in possession. She tosses back for Nora Zimp. Surveying the defense. It's Daphne Scotto DiCarlo now with it. And they're bringing out the creativity here with this set. Who's got the ball? The defense is ready for it. It ended up in the stick of Latvia. Love that. Kind of a fumble-rooski style play. But Bialik and this Grant defense able to get the stop. Give credit to the Generals. It was a well-executed trick play there by Central Catholic. But Grant, unfazed, they're still able to stay locked in. Central Catholic pulling out all the stops here. Trying to find a way to get some free shots. And you could actually see some of the Central Catholic players smiling and laughing during that play. Why not? Sharon Zip and this team, certainly something they worked on running throughout practice. Here's a shot. Sails wide. That came out of the stick of Marin Latvia. Central Catholic's long, eventful possession continues. Less than 5 to go in the third quarter. Latvia draws a whistle and a foul. She'll attack from a free position now. Challenging the keeper, Bialik. Lutfia's shot knocked away. It was not just the goalie, Bialik, it was the defender right behind her doing a great job. It looked like Ingrid Jacobs, who was there, nearly turned over the stick of Paige Pierce. Found Sherlock, and she's running downhill, looking for a teammate. Thought about firing it in towards Audrey DeLate, but elects to hold on. Now DeLate has it. Sherlock from the X tosses underhand to Aguirre. Got a defender glued to her. Sprinting right, tossing it in traffic, and batted down by the Central Catholic defense in the stick of the goalie, Josephson. Into the stick of Paige Pierce. Trying to launch it forward. Took a shot from behind, and that drew a whistle. Pierce lost the handle. Nearly scooped up by Grant, but a little collision there. And now Grant does have it. Coming out of a pack. From chaos to a delay. Becca Josephson in a tough position. And they came out of a pack with it, with a lot of attackers. And the defense wasn't really set yet. And per usual with Grant, they tend to make that extra pass. They pass up good shots in favor of those great shot opportunities, unselfish with the ball. And the execution staying at a high level for the Generals, who are up to 15 goals now in this game. Less than 2 to go in the third quarter. Collins scoops it up on the sideline. Collision and a foul. That's against Olivia Urquhart. Collins goes left side to Steve Otter. Back to Collins. Lofts it into the stick of Georgia Parsons. Here's Steve Otter again. Aaron McDevitt's back in there for Grant. Wasn't playing for a lot of this quarter. After a very active 1 goal and 3 assists first half. Loose for a moment, Paige Pierce with the aggressive defense. Grant still up with it. That was Vivian Collins on the move. Off to delay. 41 seconds left in the third quarter. Parsons back over to Delate. Nice move in the middle. That's McDevitt. Defenders converge. McDevitt whirling around. And wow, what a finish. Went horizontal off to her side and ripped the shot past the goalie for her second goal. 16-1 edge for Grant over CC, and the seconds tick off the clock in the third quarter. So that's a 4-goal quarter for Grant, 1 for Central Catholic. Well, if you're just joining us here at Delta Park, it was a huge start for Grant. They had 6 goals on the board in the first 6 minutes of this game, and have not really looked back. They ended up with 11 goals just in the first quarter. Able to reach that running clock, and it was kind of a backbreaker for Central Catholic. They've played better since. Of course, the Rams able to get a goal on the board in the third, but the Generals have played up to their standards so far. And Helen McDevitt's team is continuing to execute. Chris Clayton here with you at Delta Park. I have more lacrosse coverage coming your way tomorrow in the Oregon Sports Beat. Coming down the home stretch of the high school lacrosse season on the girls and boys side of things. And coming in, this is a Grant team ranked number 4 in the state. A really tough schedule this season. Challenging themselves. One of the toughest schedules in the state. And continuing that with a matchup against number 14 Central Catholic here today. And they have certainly answered the call. Our coverage tomorrow of boys lacrosse action will be Central Catholic against OES. That's listed as a 7:30 start time tomorrow night. And the Oregon Youth Soccer Association State Cup Finals are coming up Sunday, May 5th as well. That's our coverage ahead on Oregon Sports Beat. That time of year, bringing you plenty of soccer and lacrosse coverage. Nice time of year where the weather usually starts to get warmer, starts to get better. We had a couple days, a couple glimpses of maybe true springtime. But the rain, of course, in Oregon fashion today, off and on all day. Right now we're feeling some sunshine, but we're also feeling a nippy cold. It's just a slight breeze that's been pretty constant here tonight. And the temperature has dipped down below 50 degrees as well. Listed at 51, but with that breeze, it certainly feels cooler than that. Teams back out on the field, ready to play the fourth quarter. It's Aaron McDevitt in the center circle along with Nora Zemp for the opening draw of the fourth quarter. CC had a nice start to this game, controlling 3 of the first 4 draws, but then Grant went on a long streak of controlling probably 7, maybe 8 in a row, and scoring off nearly all of those. That was when they really exploded in this game in that first quarter. And they control another here. Can be a big advantage. Of course, a lot of it's what you do with the ball as well. But if you can control the ball, control possession more often than not, those can be a deal breaker in a close contested game. This is Marina Strike with a chance from a free position. Becca Josephson's the goalie for Central Catholic. Strike. Lost the handle, had it knocked away. I think she was maybe looking to pass off to the left to a cutting Georgia Parsons, but well defended by CC. They'll try and go transition the other way. Nora Zemp had it for a moment, lost it. It's on the turf. And Grant causing the turnover. Scooped up by Kate Steveotter. Now to Collins. DeLate flips it over to Collins again. 9 different Grant players have scored in this game. Hat-trick from all of Aguirre, Collins, Hoffelt, Strike, Bilick, and Devitt, all with 2 goals in this game. Also got a goal from Sherlag, Steveotter, and DeLate. This is Georgia Parsons with it. Central Catholic nearly causing a turnover there, but still controlled by Parsons. Now down for Hoffel. Steve Otter lofts it all the way over to Aaron McDevitt. Going left, looking for a lane. She's got one down the middle, but closed off by the Central Catholic defense. Going back for more. McDevitt spins back. Calmly, confidently, strolls it into the X. Looking for a cutter, not a lot there, and goes over to Hoffel. That one sails past the stick of Collins, loose in the turf, but again scooped up by Grant. The speed to, seems like always get to those loose balls. 9 to go here in the fourth, and a 16-1 lead for Grant over Central Catholic. Not a lot of pressure from CC on McDevitt near the sideline. She patiently waits with possession. Addison Hartmeyer applying some pressure defensively to Hoffel. Swinging around to the left side to Strike. Pierce getting after Collins, making her pass it off to McDevitt. Now to DeLate. McDevitt lost it for a moment. Cutting through, finding a lane off the nice dodge, and took the contact for a foul. Delayed, lofts it in. Some space for Parsons, and she scores. Georgia Parsons with her second goal this season. That's 10 Grant players that have picked up a goal now in this game. DeLate, Steve Otter, Parsons, Collins, Aguirre, Hoffelt, Strike, Bialik, Sherlock, and McDevitt with goals for the Generals. Molly Mackey's got the goal for Central Catholic in this game. Race down the field off a draw control and kind of a one-woman fast break, able to find the net. That was in the third quarter. Well, Grant's season high, 19 goals. Still a couple away from that and running out of time. But their season high for a quarter of those 11 goals in the first. Officials having a discussion here. Clock running down to near 6 minutes to go, approaching the halfway point of this fourth and final quarter. Draw between Strike and Lutfia, and it's won by Grant. Collins has possession. She lobs it over to Hoffel. On to Parsons, fresh off for a goal, to DeLate. Flicks it over to Strike. Collins working on Meraki. Parsons, Pierce defending. This is McKinley Bialik. Seen this in this fourth quarter in particular. Grant very patient with the ball. With a big lead, of course, why not? Not afraid to work on keeping possession here. Make the defense work for it. Milk this clock down to less than 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Possession goes now to Central Catholic. Central Catholic, their next game, they'll be playing at Cleveland. That'll be on Wednesday. Then they host a couple home games here against Lincoln and Hood River Valley, the final two games of the year for this Central Catholic girls lacrosse team, at least for the regular season. One of those games, hopefully they can watch the film back in this one and grow from. It's a really tough Grant team with less than 4 to go. This Generals team on the brink of their 7th win of the season. CC drops to 7-5. Grant improving to 7-3. They'll play OES on Thursday, Tuesday at Cleveland, and that's May 7th, Tuesday. And then they finish up the season with a tough matchup with a top 10 opponent in Ida B. Wells on Thursday, May 9th. That'll be at home in Grant Bowl. Aviciano with possession. She flicks it over to Hoffelt. And Grant obviously not too focused on attacking and trying to get a shot on. They are content to hold possession here and run this clock down, holding Central Catholic to 1 goal in this game. There's a couple free position shots earlier for the Rams. Weren't able to convert and get the job done. This would be a season best for this Grant team, holding their opponent to just 1 goal. Not easy to do, but helps to maintain possession like they are right now down the stretch. Milking a lot of time off the clock and a running clock they were able to reach back in the first quarter. Now just 1:46 and counting. Let's see if Central Catholic can cause a turnover here. Get another possession. Maybe get a shot on. Here we go. Loose on the turf. And there's a whistle and a foul against Grant. So Central Catholic now. The defense of Paige Pierce doing a nice job there. She's done a lot today defensively. Wreaking some havoc. She's got possession back for CC. Slips through a couple defenders. Still moving. Pierce, nicely done, but the pass a little off target. Still loose. And scooped up. Central Catholic's got it with Elise Lamb. On the right side, the pass in the middle. It's shut off by the goalie, but a foul. That's against Grant. It was Annika Bialik, the goalie, who steps out to intercept that pass. But the whistle and the foul. And here's a chance for Elise Lamb. Sprinting around behind the cage, sneaking through. Her shot knocked away. Maybe got a piece of the post. It was close. Well done by the goalie, Annika Bialik. Here goes Grant in transition. Pass a little off target for the sprinting Ava Ciano. Ciano, without a goal this season, would have been a huge opportunity for her there if she could get to that pass. 20 seconds to go. There's Ciano, and there's the goal. Her first of the season, and it's 18-1 Grant. You can tell they were looking to find her. A terrific defensive player this year for this Generals team. Leads the team in caused turnovers, second and ground balls, and getting involved offensively now with a goal. And that is final. 11 different Grant players find the net and score in this game. It was Audrey DeLate, Ava Ciano, Kate Steve Otter, I should say, Georgia Parsons, Vivian Collins, Olive Aguirre with a hat trick, Isla Hoffelt, Marina Strike, McKinley Bialik, and a Sherlock and Aaron McDevitt with the goals today for Grant. For a Generals team that had 18 goals, but nobody had more than 3. Aguirre leading the way with her hat trick. For Central Catholic, they dropped to 7-5 with the loss, and they had a goal in this game from Molly Mackey. It was the first quarter that was the difference for Grant, as they got 11 goals in the first and never looked back. For Central Catholic, they'll try and bounce back and move on. Their next game coming up on Wednesday, playing at Cleveland. Thanks for joining us from Delta Park on the Oregon Sports Beat. For our executive producer, Ryan Johnson, I'm Chris Clayton. It's an 18-1 final. Grant beats Central Catholic on the Oregon Sports Beat. Have a good night.